don't know if you'll see this in the edit, but I'm having a nice time.
Welcome back to the Encore Club. And today I'm joined by, well, it's someone that actually, I don't know if he remembers this, but I actually contacted him back in 2021 about coming on this podcast. And he did say yes at that point, but I actually stopped us doing the recording just because I wanted production value to be a little bit better before I brought someone like him on. So without further ado, I am joined today by Robbie Knox. Robbie, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Worried me there. I thought, oh God, I hope I didn't do anything bad, but that's good. Yeah, I generally say yes to things, particularly around that time. That was the pandemic. I had nothing to do. I speak to anyone.
That's exactly why I started the podcast, mate.
There you go.
So for anyone who isn't kind of au fait with Robbie and what he's known for, you're a producer, a director, podcaster and YouTuber, amongst other things. Does that kind of generalize?
Yeah, basically going through a midlife crisis. That means I'm a 48-year-old YouTuber. So a lot of that is, most of my time is spent doing YouTube and podcasts now, with the occasional other bit.
Amazing. And you're one of the co-hosts. I was saying this before. You're one of the co-hosts for JaackMaate Happy Hour, which you won't know this, but it's a huge inspiration for this podcast.
Oh, brilliant. So, I'm glad it's doing some good in the world.
Oh, 100%. Actually, I think I've listened to, I'm very much in the top like 0.1% of listeners or something ridiculous like that.
Oh, wow. Well, this already is more professional than Happy Hour, so you've already surpassed that.
I'll take it. Don't tell Jack. You are also a former producer on Soccer AM.
That's right, yeah. I was there for 7 years, from 2000 to 2007.
Amazing. And a beer aficionado with Binde Brewery. Is that...
Yep. I'm not really doing that anymore now, but yeah, I was making a lot of beer. Again, just during lockdown, I was bored and started brewing beer, and it went quite well. And then I started brewing beers with other breweries and stuff and things like that. So yeah, I haven't done it for a little while though, but I'm going to go to a beer festival the weekend.
Nice. And I was going to say, actually, will that be a YouTube video?
The beer festival, no, purely pleasure, I think.
Nice.
I've had to be a bit more professional with YouTube because I used to just put anything on it, but now it's like my job. Like I have to sort of try and go, okay, let's just have an idea, a proper idea, and things, which is quite annoying in some ways, but it's unfortunately that's with most work you have to do stuff that's good. You can't just do anything.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say actually, but your YouTube channel as a whole is kind of, it's essentially wholesome travel vlogs and kind of generalized vlogging with.
Yeah. It's hard to work out. I've tried to sort of narrow it down to doing more stuff. Like I think doing stuff gets you out of ruts, and if you ever don't know what to do, I think you should do something. And a lot of the time, it doesn't really matter what you do; it will lead to something, and it won't necessarily lead to what you think it will lead to. But just doing things. So outside, I've just come from, before I did this here, I've just come from karate, which I took up a month or two ago,
Nice.
Because my kids wanted to try it. And I thought, well, I might as well join in as well with them and that. So I sort of do think just doing random things and seeing what you like is the way to go. And I've sort of somehow made a job out of it.
I think that's the best way to go about it, though, isn't it? Like getting involved, especially getting like I've got 3 kids at home and 1 on the way, and getting involved with kind of their activities and stuff kind of just gives you a bit more to kind of crack on with as well. So that's pretty good. But what I was going to say was your YouTube channel, you tend to have quite big names across the board kind of join you on these kind of little adventures. So obviously, not to mention, for example, the Easter egg incident, I'm going to call it, with Stevie. Stevie White from Happy Hour, but also you do a lot with Bambino Becky. You've done stuff with Rob from TPD TV. Rob and Dan.
This, isn't he?
He has. Both of them have. Yeah. And most recently, Lloyd Griffith is your most recent video. So how, with those experiences, do you feel like there's more of a pressure to create content that really hits a little bit harder, or is it more like these are my friends and they're kind of accepting of just what I'm about, because it tends to land regardless?
Yeah, well, a lot of them are much more successful than me, so there's no benefit to them doing it other than it's a fun day. But a lot of the time, it's generally quite fun things. Like with Lloyd, he's just been filming in Australia for a few months. He's just come back. I haven't seen him. I said, "Do you want to come to the best pub in the country?" It's not a dreadful suggestion. It's quite an easy sell. A lot of these things. The ones I do with Becky are we quite often go abroad places, and that's a bit harder because there's always some part that's a little bit bleak in it, like something really unpleasant happens and all that. So, but she still keeps coming along, and I don't really know why. But with those, I'm like, oh, please say no if you don't want to come.
Yeah.
Basically, but yeah, I don't feel any pressure because it's just friends. I'm not. They're generally people that I hang around with anyway, rather outside of video making. But it's just quite a nice excuse to hang out.
Nice. I love that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna delve a little bit deeper into your background as well, if that's okay, before I kind of crack on with some music-based questions. You will find that this podcast will dip in and out of being slightly absurd with its questions, and then weirdly deep and meaningful with others as well, and then
Fabulous.
just all very kind of loosely based around music, because obviously that is what we do at the Encore Club. So let me start with, if you hadn't kind of ventured into media and beyond in your career, what do you think you might be doing?
Probably something businessy. Like, I did economics at uni, and I think if I hadn't managed to get into media stuff, I probably would have just gone, oh, I'll just go and do something that my degree would lead me into. So I don't really know, but there was nothing. I was never really that into that sort of thing. I went to a few different work experience things when I was a kid, and all I learnt from each one was, God, I don't want to do that job. Like, I'd go and go to an accountant and go, no, I'm absolutely not doing that for a career and things like that. So I never really found much about what I wanted to do. So I probably would. The answer probably is some kind of businessy type thing. What I'd like to do now, if I had to do something different, I don't know. I mean, I like cooking, but I think the reality of being a chef is quite harsh. I think it's quite long hours. So I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't doing anything media related. I don't really know.
Do you think if you could, because I know that obviously I've heard through Happy Hour particularly that you kind of make a lot of like sausage rolls, you invite the boys around for dinner sometimes and stuff. If it was maybe something that wasn't so every night churning out 70 meals for a high-end restaurant, but more kind of as and when you feel, do you think that would maybe be where you'd direct
I think
yourself?
really my ideal job, now I think about it, probably would be house husband.
Nice.
I'd like a lot of people I know. A lot of people say, "Oh, you wouldn't enjoy that." I think, but I do. Just one of my favorite things is just making food for people and doing stuff. So I think I'd like to have a wealthy wife who goes out to work, and then I make sure the house is nice for her when she comes back. Unfortunately, my wife works for a charity, so that's not happening anytime soon.
I'm actually right there with you though. Like I'm a fan of cooking, but not under pressure, and
Yeah.
I also like kind of being able to kind of spend a lot of time with the kids. And I think when so this is my first that's coming in October, and I'm going to be going kind of part-time with work, and I am going to basically be taking up a slightly kind of house husbandy kind of role.
Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to it though, because I've been doing events for a few years now, and it's a really nice change of pace.
Yeah, it is. It's I like it, and I've sort of my main reason, to be totally honest, for doing YouTube and stuff like that is to try and design a life where I can be at home as much as possible, because I know how brief a time you get with your kids, and I enjoy it so much, and that's why a lot of the decisions I make. That's why I've been to karate, is because it's an extra couple hours a week I can spend with my two sons and stuff like that. So it's yeah, I'm just sort of trying to sort of tailor a life to where I don't have to do like for example, the YouTube channel's been doing quite well over the last year, sort of thing, and you can go, okay, well that's that's good. So there's more money coming in, and you could go, there's more money coming in, so I can, if I keep doing more videos, then I'll make more money. Or you can sort of go, there's more money coming in, so I'll just do less stuff and have the same mediocre standard of living, but just do less of it, sort of thing. Which isn't probably what it's not the art of the deal, is it? It's what Donald Trump would do.
And
But yeah.
your boys are Otto and Arlo, is that right?
Otto and Arlo, yes. I've got 3 children. Kitty is 14, my daughter.
Oh.
Otto is 11 and Arlo's 8.
Lovely. I've got the youngest boy, and with ours is Otto as well. So
Nice.
we nearly called our one that's due in October Arlo, and I actually had to mention that you haven't Arlo, and I at some point wanted you on the podcast, so I can't really be like, Robbie, come on the podcast.
But they're good names, right? They're nice. They're good names.
Exactly. Okay, cool. So this one's a bit of a tough one to a degree, I guess, or it might be really easy. I don't really know. If you could place these 3 kind of careers in a kind of tier list in order, essentially, of what you prefer: TV production, podcasting, or being a YouTuber, where would they? Who would be at the top? Who would be at the bottom?
I'd say top would probably be YouTube. The reason being, I have full control over it, and it does mean that there's no. I'm not. When you're doing other jobs, your life can be impacted by other people, sort of thing, who just don't want to do something or do something slightly different, or you're impacted by their relationships. Where if you're doing purely your own thing on YouTube, it means you can sort of just do what you want, and there's not going to be downsides of that. I love doing podcasty things. Yeah, I really enjoy doing that, and it's nice because you're working with people as well, which is the other side of things. TV production, I enjoyed it a lot. The only things I really miss from Soccer AM are some of the people I work with, like working with Helen all the time and various others. But also, it sounds a bit weird, but there's a sort of, because the show's live like 40 odd weeks a year, there's sort of like a sort of buzz of a live TV show, like a sort of adrenaline rush of not being like, oh, I'm not ready, we can't do this now. Like, okay, at 9 o'clock the show starts, whether you're ready or not, and you have to be there. And it's got like hearing the sort of countdown to going on air in your ear was. Does that sound weird? It was quite sort of, there's a bit of a rush to it, sort of thing, I think.
I assume that it's probably akin to the live shows that you've done with Happy Hour and things like that. It's that kind of same, or for example, I'm a musician going on stage and
yeah.
perform.
But even with the Happy Hour shows, they'd say to you, "Are you ready?" Whereas no one was saying that on TV.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it is literally like, you got to do this now. So yeah, but yeah, that is I guess that's the closest I've come to. I think, yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. So we've mentioned kids and things like that, and I guess we've kind of touched on it. But one of my questions was, how do you kind of balance your family life with the demands of content creation and things like that? But you've kind of answered it, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty well, I think. Like when I was quite busy than last year, my son has said to me, "Why are you?" I was going to London to do a podcast. He goes, "Oh, why are you always away?" And I'm like, "I'm so rarely away. Like I am." It's one thing I definitely am not. Is always away. Something. So, so pretty well. I think it's. And I appreciate I'm lucky, but I have designed it to be this way. But then it's tweaking it all the time. Like I found I've been doing a lot of videos away, and what would happen is I'd travel for a day, I'd film a video, and then I'd have a day traveling back. It's 3 days to do one video, and if you're trying to do a video every week or two, it gets quite hard. So in June, I went to Mexico for 5 days, and I recorded 4 videos, which, whilst it's a big chunk, and to be honest, I didn't particularly enjoy it because I was just away on my own. It then means, like starting this week, I've got 4 videos in a row coming out from Mexico, and so I just don't have to go away for ages, sort of thing, and could just be there because you've got to be realistic. I mean, most people have to be away from their families to do work, sort of thing. So it's I believe I'm lucky, but yeah, I just try and be at home as much as I can because it's. I mean, my daughter's. It feels like yesterday she was born, and she's 14 now. She'll probably move out in 4 years.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, yeah, finding that balance is, I guess, key, especially when you have 3 kids, and it's something that
How do you find it?
Well, I very much started this for the exact same reason. I wanted to, so I wasn't with my partner when I originally kind of started this back in 2021. But then when I brought it back round, I was, and she kind of supported me through it. And the idea was that I wanted to be able to, I want this to be successful. Obviously, everyone wants their podcast or their YouTube channel to be as successful as possible, but also to support me so that I can be at home with our kids and spend time with my family as much as possible. I'm struggling with that balance at the moment because I do have a full-time job at the moment still. But as I said, when the baby comes, that is going to naturally die down. And yes, I'll be spending a lot more time with the baby, but also there's going to be a moment where I'm going to be able to kind of focus a little bit harder on this. And, you know, we've got season 2 coming up, and it's, you know, already shaping up to be bigger than I ever thought. Like the fact that we have had guests in season 1 with over 1 million followers on Instagram and things like that is mind-blowing to me, and I'm so fortunate to be in this position, and it's just a lovely feeling.
It's mad when you think about things like that, isn't it? Like numbers, because they sort of just get used to it, go, oh, that video's not done well, it's got so many views on it. But you think of the actual people involved in some of these things, you think what 1 million people is for someone. That's madness.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. I sometimes I get lost in it because like I think one of the earliest podcasts I did on this was with an American YouTuber called Joshua, and he's just like a sketch artist.
Right.
He's got, I think, 3 million on YouTube and 4 million on TikTok, and it was like he is the loveliest guy, and he's pushed the podcast so hard, and it's working with people like that have just made this such a joy for me. And yeah, sometimes you'll know this, you get people on guesting on your podcast, and they're not, you know, they're there to hit their promo slot and crack on, especially some bands and things like that, and that's completely fair, you know, like that's what they're there to do. And then sometimes you just make that genuine connection, and it's just like, this is kind of what it's for.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice talking to people, isn't it, in general, sort of thing. And if you can find a way to do that for work, it's brilliant.
Exactly. Okay, Robbie. On that kind of wholesome note, what's one personal kind of moment of pride for yourself that you'll never forget?
Not music related, just generally.
Just general, yeah.
Well, apart from kids stuff, because that's too obvious, isn't it? Sort of thing. What am generally proud of? Is there anything? I'm just there's not one specific things, but I think just generally, I'm proud of a lot of things I've done. I'm proud of Soccer AM, the show that we did at the time, which sort of stopped me doing any further TV after I left that, because I was like, well, it's like my favourite show, and so what else is there to do, sort of thing. Like I was working on my favourite thing, and we had so much freedom doing it. I was really proud of some of the things we've done there. There's lots of other things. I'm proud of a lot of stuff on Happy Hour, proud of the tours. I'm proud of the way I think we've been from sort of moral standpoint and a lot of things. For example, like there was when Andrew Tate, for example, who's not really my cup of tea, but when he was all kicking off and he was going on podcasts and stuff, all of us were very much, we want nothing to do with this bloke, sort of thing. I think, and I think although it can podcast can seem a bit sort of puerile and stuff like that at times. I think that we've got quite a good moral comes to that. So I think it's things that I don't think there's any sort of specifically I did this and it was great, but more just a general sort of
collection of everything that you've
collection
done.
of pride. Yeah, yeah.
No, I love that. I think that's, and to be honest with you, mate, I think that's 100%. Like, you can firmly look back at your full career and just be like, this is awesome. This is what I've been able to do. And unfortunately,
I think that's important, isn't it? I think it's good to be proud, particularly when you've got kids as well. If you're trying to set good examples for them, I think they learn more as much from what you do than what you say. So you've got to sort of back all these things up, and it can be hard at times, particularly if something is offering you money that's untoward. You have to sort of go, no, thank you. But how much was that? Yes. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, so sorry.
Not at all.
We've done a nice deep dive into you, Robbie, as a person, but let's move on to you musically. So we call these our warm up icebreakers.
Yep.
I mean, we have broken the ice massively by asking all your kind of personal questions, but let's break the ice musically.
Hey, the Titanic knows you've got to break as much ice as possible.
Exactly. Love that. Might have to steal that as well, Robbie.
Do it, have it. It's all yours. Very generous.
Okay. Imagine you have to curate the soundtrack to a fictional movie about your life.
Okay.
I need 2 songs from you for 2 separate scenes. So I need the scene where you rob a bank.
Okay.
And I need the end credits to the movie.
Okay. Rob a bank. I might just go really route one with that, and I'm going to go with Bank Robber, the audio web version, which is from the 1990s. It's probably quite niche for a lot of people listening. I think is it a Clash song? Bank Robber? Who's it? I'm trying to remember now. I'll probably just go for that one because it's literal, and sometimes literal works.
I like that.
And for the end scenes of the movie, I think I'll pick the song that we had. What was that actually? What was the? Yeah, no, I'll pick the song that we ended the first Happy Hour tour with, that just played in the theatre afterwards, which is a windmill in old Amsterdam. If you know that, there's a mouse there, where on the stair, right there, that one. Because I remember my grandpa used to play it quite a lot, and then for some reason we were just trying to think of a song at the end. We thought it was just quite a nice, whimsical song, and I think we need a little bit of whimsy in life. So I just have a general whimsical thing.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, I've got 2 cameras here. I'm going to address this one. Hi. For anyone who doesn't know, Robbie probably doesn't know this. For every podcast episode we do, we also release a Spotify playlist with every song that Robbie will mention throughout this podcast. So if you don't know those tracks, you will. You'll be able to go and hear them all on this playlist that we'll release at the same time as the episode. Amazing.
Amazing. Great. A lot of pressure now. Now that
don't worry about that. Honestly,
a little bit worried now.
Well, we also do things like Spotify roulette and things like that, and the songs that come out on that is hilarious. Like we've definitely had like someone doing like Gangnam Style, and then like Aqua Barbie Girl, and then just like some heavy metal that no one's ever heard of. It's like really niche stuff. So honestly, don't like when we build the playlist, it's actually a really amazing kind of
eclectic mix.
Exactly, eclectic mix of just this randomized taste list
of
whoever's joining us on the podcast. Okay, if you had to perform a duet with any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Great question. Okay, I can't really sing, so I either have to have someone else who can't sing, or someone who's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Like it can't be someone out of it. So I'm probably gonna have to go for a musician. What song am I singing? Does it matter? Can I choose?
Whatever you want, yeah.
Whatever I want. Okay. who'd be? Who's got a great? Who's got a great voice? Do you know what? I am going to pick Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Great shout.
Because I think he got a good voice. He can sing quite a bit, and I'll just do little harmony things or something in the background. I won't be able to do harmonies. I'll just make noises.
He'll be able to lead the way on that, and that's perfectly fine.
And maybe we can do maybe we could do a windmill in Old Amsterdam, and I can just do when he goes, and he can do I saw a mouse, and I can just go where. That could just be my contribution to it.
Hey, if it works, it works. I think that's a great shout, Steven Tyler.
I met Steven Tyler once. I was when I was at Soccer AM, we got invited to an Oasis party after they won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Brits, and I'd met Noel a few times because he'd been on the show, and I'd not met Liam, but I knew he knew the show. And we got chatting to him while we were there. But then at one point, I was sat down at a table. It was me and Sheephead, who I worked with at Soccer AM, Joe, and Liam sat down, and then a woman came and sat down opposite him, like just next to Joe. I thought it was a woman at first, and then looked up, and it was Steven Tyler, and Joe loves Aerosmith. He had one chance to talk to one of his heroes, and he went, and we'd just been to watch the Champions League final in Paris. We'd been to Euro Disney. I went, all right, Stephen, I'm Joe. He went, I went on your roller coaster at Euro Disney because it was like an Aerosmith roller coaster. Stephen Tyler went, neat, isn't it? Me and Joe Perry went on it 57 times. And that was the extent of the conversation.
But what a great conversation to have.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, you could have completely blanked him then as well. Or just blanked.
Yeah.
What? But yeah, what were able to respond? Awesome. What a story. You've had a lot of people, obviously, on Soccer AM in terms of guests that have. I feel like Kasabian. Yeah,
Kasabian were on quite a bit. I basically had pretty much everyone who was like, because I've still got loads of numbers in my phone book, and I've got like loads of people who were famous between the years of 2000 and 2007. So like Goldie Looking Chain, like all these sort of people, the Ordinary Boys, things like that sort of thing. I've got on there, but yeah, we used to get great guests on, and I was booking the music for it, so I'm booking the music guests. Had like Arctic Monkeys did their first studio interview on the show. I think Razorlight and Kaiser Chiefs, as far as I know, they did their first TV bits with us. I think certainly first live TV shows. So we're getting some good people on, I think.
I mean, huge names.
Yeah.
So even Razorlight, and we haven't heard from them for a while, but like they're headlining Guildfest. Like that's all good. Go with them.
Well, there we go. Yeah, and then we'd also have some strange people. We had Meat Loaf came on, and then randomly Akon. You know, Akon, like that's with Eminem and stuff like that. Like, so I remember speaking to Piano. I said, "Do you want Akon on?" I was like, "Yeah." Just doing a fake on like football. They went, "Yeah, I think so." Okay, cool. So things like that are good.
Amazing. Okay, if you had to describe your personality using 3 songs, what would they be?
Okay. Oh God, this is hard, isn't it? Okay. Right. I'll think about my personality first. I think I'm quite easygoing, so let's have easy like Sunday morning.
Perfect.
Because it's got the word easy in it, and it's quite relaxed. What else? What's my personality like? I think I'm quite fun. So what's a song with fun in it? No, I can't think of any songs with fun. This is hard. 3 songs.
That is. I'll tell you what. If you can give me just one more.
One more. Okay. Okay. I'm friendly. Is that the same as easygoing? No, friendly. Okay, so let's go. The theme tune from Friends. I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts.
I love that. Also,
I played that DJing, and it went down brilliantly.
I can imagine. Imagine. Also, maybe a multifaceted one for the kind of how you are as a person. If you'll be there for them,
Yeah,
it could work on 2 levels. That so
yeah,
perfect.
And I'll be easygoing, but only on Sunday mornings, and I'll be horrible the other days.
Perfect. Okay, this one, it hasn't got to be anything to do with music or even celebrities. In fact, a lot of the people that we get mentioned on this particular question tend to be family members.
Mhm.
So, who is your biggest hero in life?
I'm not going to say family members because well, hero is quite. You got to be careful with heroes
You do. We
because
haven't had any dads. That doesn't ever happen. It's always mums. That's
yeah,
quite funny. But if it, to be completely honest, I would quite happily pick a musician. Like I wouldn't have started music without Coldplay, and I know that that is contentious to a lot of people that will be watching this. But
yeah.
Chris Martin helped me become the musician that I am today. So
Well, do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I'll go Noel Gallagher then, because when I was 17, definitely maybe came out, and I think Noel gets hammered a bit for his lyrics, and sometimes rightly so.
nice.
But on the song "Live Forever," there's a line that goes, "Maybe I will never be all the things that I want to be. Now is not the time to cry. Now's the time to find out why." And I think hearing that when you're 17 and that sort of thought of taking personal responsibility for everything has sort of shaped me in quite a way that if I hadn't heard that song, I'm not sure I would have been at that time. So I think I'll probably go with that because I think that's the sort of lyric that has impacted me most in my life, I'd say.
Amazing. Mine was
Yeah,
it was
good
all
one.
yellow.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So two good reasons. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a good song though.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, we're gonna set the scene for your dream concert a little bit.
Okay.
So we always start this off by kind of just looking at things like, well, the first question is, what venue are you having it in? And I can heavily caveat this by telling you that we have had someone's back garden,
Okay.
a forest in Alaska under the Northern Lights, and then Glastonbury. That's the kind of range that we go for here. So literally, it's your dream. Where would you like your venue to be?
I am going to when they demolished those people demolished that crooked pub, like
Yes.
up there, and everyone got angry, and they're forced to rebuild it brick by brick. I'm
Yeah.
going to make them rebuild the London Astoria, brick by
Amazing.
brick. Because it was my favourite venue. I lived in London for years. I was doing the music for Soccer, and I was going to probably about 2 or 3 gigs a week. I was going to do a huge amount of gigs. For someone who also has a quite busy job. And a lot of them were at London Story. And there's gigs, like so many bands like I don't even know I've seen, and then I'll find a ticket or something like that. I have no recollection of this. But so many of those gigs were at London Story. I think it was my favourite venue in London. It was the perfect size, good views wherever you were. And it was just really great. I moved away from London now. I live in Norwich. And when Crossrail opened, I thought, oh, do you know what? That's going to be really convenient to get to the London Astoria. Then I remembered they knocked down the London Astoria to build Crossrail. So that was my favourite venue. So I will have it completely reconstructed. I'll make the people who knocked it down, whoever's responsible, rebuild it. They can do it a little bit down the road, so it doesn't, because I still want to use Crossrail, the Elizabeth line. So so I've reconstructed. I've reconstructed London Astoria, but any week other than the week after they brought in the smoking ban, because there was one week where, like, clearly smoke had been masking the smell of stale cider, and it was horrific for a week. And then they worked out a proper cleaning schedule, and it was fine again. So anytime apart from that week, London Astoria.
Nice. And I guess the way we can work it, Robbie, is that we could have it so that Crossrail literally stops at the London Astoria for you.
Yeah, maybe an escalator that takes you straight into the front bit. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, and who do you go to? Who do you go with to the gigs?
Great question. How many am I allowed? Unlimited people?
Unlimited, whoever you want.
Everyone I know, really. I bring my wife along because if we can get babysitter, can I get babysitter in this? How does childcare work in this fancy thing? Okay.
They're in the green room just having a good time with their babysitter.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of friends I would go to gigs with. I guess a lot of my friends from Soccer AM time I go to gigs with. Lots of people you just don't know. I can list my mate Jim. Wait, Jim,
Shout out.
well, to be fair, Jim, he's a health reporter on BBC News, so you might see him occasionally, Jim Reed. But yeah, just general friends and people who like a night out and a bit of music.
Cool. So Josh, who is my co-host, unfortunately, obviously couldn't be here. This is his favorite question because he loves to kind of hone in on the fact that you do sometimes have a core group of people that you go to gigs with, and they can kind of make the night as good as the band.
Yeah.
And that's quite important. But I do agree that, if you have the opportunity to bring absolutely everyone, then why the fuck wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I never really had that call because I was going to so many gigs. It was kind of more, can I find someone to go with me so I'm not stood on my own a lot of the times, sort of thing. So now it's a lot more organised. But back then it was just funny people like going, do you want to come and see the Bravery with me?
The Bravery were amazing, by the way.
The Bravery X, I saw them just round in another venue that I think got destroyed because of Crossrail just round the corner. I forgot what it was called. Metro Club, is that it?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and so when you're there, are you the kind of person that is going straight to the bar and getting drinks, or are you looking at merch? What's your kind of, I guess, pre-show ritual?
I will when I started going to gigs. Really, when I was at uni, I never reached to drink at them. I would just go to drink gigs on my own and just stand as close as I could to the front and just enjoy it. Now, I am essentially a lazy man, and I will do the bare minimum. Like to the point now that even going to gigs, if you said the Beatles have reformed, they're playing a gig in Norwich, I go, which side of the city? Like, it's like, is it on the bus route? What have I got on tomorrow? No, so I forgot what the question was. What am I doing at the gigs? Yeah, so I think I'll get there. Well, I tell you what, I went to Weezer the other week with my wife in Dublin, and we got there. We went to the merch thing, partly because it looked like it was going to rain, and I thought, well, I'll buy a hoodie, and then my wife can wear it if it rains, because she wasn't organised enough to bring a coat, and then I'd probably go to the bar. I think I'd probably stand somewhere in the middle, not too close to the front, and then probably work my way through towards the end when I get envious of people at the front.
Nice. So kind of like we always say, the sound booth is always going to be the best place for
start. Yeah, that's good. Or you can also often get quite close down if you go down the side a bit. You can sort of try to get a bit further forward that way and inside. And probably that.
I always manage to make my way to like the front railing if I go down the side. It's like people just forget that there's a side that you can just quite literally bypass everyone and not be crushed. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna play a quick game. We do this a lot, many games throughout this podcast. This one's called One Night Only.
Okay.
So the premise of this game is that this is completely separate to your dream concert.
Yep.
You're able to bring back from the dead any artist for one final show for one night only. However, before I ask you some questions about this one night only gig, I have to kind of throw in a bit of a chaos element.
Okay.
So just to let you know, whoever you bring back
are vampires.
Oh, we can go with. I'll tell you what, they're vampires. But
it's your question. You pick the rules.
I'll still throw in my rule, but it's I think the vampires bit works.
Yeah.
They're vampires, but they can only play plastic toy instruments for their whole set.
Well, so do I have to pick a band or a musician that would do well on plastic toy instruments?
Not at all. So just to give you an idea, we had Florence Pugh's brother, who is also an actor. Very early in the season, and we did the same game with him. He chose Jimi Hendrix, so I made Hendrix only play a recorder for the whole thing.
Okay.
He then managed to get the whole of Glastonbury playing the recorder with Hendrix as his one rule, but we'll come to that in a minute.
Okay. I will bring back from the dead. I lived in Canada for a year, and there is a band that most people outside of Canada will not know probably anything of, and everyone in Canada will know, called the Tragically Hip, and they are the most Canadian band ever. They were absolutely huge in Canada, but I mean, I saw them in I saw something at the London Astoria, maybe, or maybe Sheffield British Empire, when they came over. And the singer Gord died probably quite a few years ago now, but within the last 10 years. And I think he might have had he had a brain tumor or something, and knew that he was dying. And they did one final tour where they played across, finishing, I think, possibly in Kingston, in Ontario, where they're from. And like Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, was there. It was this big thing, like televised all across Canada and all that sort of thing. So I think maybe bring him back for just one more gig, I think might be quite good.
One more plastic toy instrument gig.
Yeah, he can do it. So the Canadian people will be delighted that God's back for a gig, but then a little bit wondering why he's playing a kazoo.
I love that. Okay, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to throw a rule in of your own for this gig.
What, any rule at all? As in something? The gig will take place in Norwich.
Amazing.
But with Air Canada putting on flights for anyone from Canada who want to come.
For free? Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Why not? Okay, awesome. And what's one thing the audience aren't allowed to do?
They are not allowed to know what's happening in advance. I'm just going to tell them, I've got something good. It's worth coming to. If you live in Canada, you'll get flown for free by Air Canada. Do you want to come? Because I don't like it when you got friends and you say, do you want to come to this? And they're like, maybe. And I was like, right, no, you either accept your invitation or say no. I don't mind which one it is, but I don't hold out for a better offer. So I want them to have faith in me and just do it.
Good. I like that. Okay. And finally, what song are they closing with?
They will play their song Bob Cajun, which is one of my favourite songs, which is a nice, lovely, slow one. And I think will be not a dry eye in the house, as God then goes presumably back to heaven.
Just ascend at that point, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Amazing. Okay, and that was one night only. Okay, just a few more questions before we kind of press on with your dream concert. Some of these are a little bit happy hour heavy, so forgive me, but
so fine.
It's
what's your go-to meal deal?
Interest. I haven't asked that either, and you know what? I probably should have, but maybe if I get Jack on the podcast,
Yeah.
so I can do that one. What's your favorite? This is more about you, to be fair. What's your favorite YouTube video that you've done to date?
It's a good question. I did a really good one I was editing today that I really enjoy. But that's not out yet, so it doesn't matter. I think probably one of my skiing ones. I think because I like ones where I go on a ski holiday with friends and just do a sort of video diary, the whole thing. Because I think they're good. They're well filmed. I spend a lot of time editing them. And they're just a lovely thing to have at the end of it, to look back a few years later and go, God, do you remember that trip we had? Let's watch the videos sort of thing. So I think probably one of my ski videos, maybe my ski video too, where I went to Vancouver and Whistler, that one, which I think probably came out in about 2019, I'd say.
Nice. Okay, cool. Have you ever been to like one of those the music festivals that they hold up in the ski resorts?
I've been to snowbombing a few times in Meerhofen, mostly for work. But also sometimes for fun. And I was there, in fact, last year, we did a sort of happy hour trip. Well, it was actually just me and Jack. But then TPD TV were there, Bambino Becky was there, Kieran Carl and a few others sort of things. It was really good fun. But the problem is I'm 48 years old and hangovers hit differently now. And I have to either choose to ski or to drink, really. I struggle to do both.
What song reminds you of your childhood and why?
Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, or anything from that entire album, really, because my mum is born on the exact same day to the year, to the day of everything as Bruce Springsteen, and was also really into Bruce Springsteen in the sort of 80s and 90s and that. So I just remember hearing that album all the time, and I really liked it, would listen to it in the car driving around and things like that. So yeah, probably that. Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen.
Nice. Love that. Okay, and finally, what musical trend, for example, 90s boy bands, would you bring back?
Ooh. I got weirdly into dubstep at the time from a man who doesn't look like he'd be into dubstep. So that was quite good. What would I really like? I was listening to Sum 41 earlier, and I think I'd bring back the sort of slightly. I think everyone's a bit too cool now. I think I'd like bring back a sort of like, yeah, like we laugh when old people fall. That sort of lyric and stuff like that. I'd bring back a slightly sort of angsty teenagers who are like, we don't conform. We don't care what happens. That sort of thing.
Nice.
I don't think everyone's a bit too sincere now.
Like the all killer, no filler generation of something.
All that sort of stuff. So yeah, something like that, I'd say.
Perfect. Great answer as well. It's very much my wheelhouse. I'm very much a kind of pop punk emo. That was where I based myself for a lot of my.
I think if I'd been born like 5 years later, I'd be really emo. My daughter's really emo, which I quite like because I can sort of like I'm taking her to see My Chemical Romance next month and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm getting like secondhand emo opportunities.
Nice, lovely. We are going to move on to finally your first support act of we say support act, first act of the evening.
Okay, fabulous. I am going to go with my favourite band at the minute, which are a band from Toronto in Canada. It seems to be a very Canadian happy, heavy show this, but a band from Toronto, 4 girls. They're called The Beaches. They had a song called Blame Brett a couple of years ago. I think they did relatively well. I think certainly in America.
Nice.
But I absolutely love them. I've never seen them live or anything like that. They've got a new album coming out in August. I'm very excited about. So yeah, they will be my opening act, I think. I'm going in a sort of size order of acts, just to be a bit more traditional.
That's cool. We've had such a kind of array of how people do this. They either choose 3 absolute legends, or they kind of TPD TV did it really well, where they did like you did. They kind of curated the order of the sets to be kind of in correlation with who's playing well. Although I think Dan picked Orville Peck as his first.
Right.
And then like Avenged Sevenfold to headline or something crazy like that, which was amazing, but also absolutely bonkers. Okay, amazing. And just a little teaser as well for our season finale. We actually have a really huge Canadian rock band joining us for the finale, so make sure you tune in for that.
Wow.
What would the encore song be? Would it be the song you just mentioned?
No, I think what I'd like them to do. I mean, I could bore you all about my favourite Beaches songs. I think what I'd like them to do an encore with, because I'm aware that I've looked through this and it's very sort of guitar music heavy, but I do like a lot of other things. So I would like them to perform a cover version of Dr. Dre's "Ain't Nothing But a G Thang." I don't know what they've got. Whether they could do that. I mean, I'm sure they could if they set their mind to it. They're very talented, but I just think they'll play all their stuff normally, and then they'll just come back on and slightly lose the crowd with that.
I'd like it.
I think I think it is one of the best 5 songs ever written. I think it's incredible. I think it's such a brilliant summertime song. Incredible.
What an answer, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, incredible. Right. Okay, cool. Let me hit you with some more questions.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little bit deeper than I guess the questions that I've gone in the past. And I'm going to ask, are lyrics more influential than melody when conveying emotions?
I think it depends on the song, doesn't it? I guess. I mean, I think if it's Insomnia by Faithless, I'd say it's very much the melody and everything there that makes you feel the way it does. But then if you listen to what's the song, but Bright Eyes, first day of my life or something like that, that's very much the lyrics or something like that. So I think think it depends on the song, really. I suppose it's a bit easier with lyrics, isn't it? Because you can just
I think you're right,
say the words.
I mean, there's been plenty of song where the lyrics have hit, but they haven't hit as hard as they've hit with the chord progression that's maybe been coupled with it as well, which kind of draws on that. And there is like I can't even describe it, but there's a chord progression that I use quite a lot in my songwriting, and it's like I call it my crying chord because it's just like it just makes you feel like shit, but like in the most heart-wrenching way. And so yeah, no, I get that. That's a good that probably sums that up quite nicely. Okay. I always there's this one song, right, and I always mishear the lyrics in it. And so I'm going to tell you what lyric it is for me, and then I was just wondering if you ever have any song lyrics that you always consistently mishear, and then someone's maybe recently told you what the actual line is. So mine is "Naive" by the Kooks, and the particular line is "I'm not fond of asking," although me and apparently a lot of other people hear "I'm not from the Ruskin."
I can see that. Yeah, I didn't think that, but I can understand that. There definitely are ones that I don't know, but I don't know if I can think of them off the top of that. And it's a lot easier now that Spotify, you can just see the lyrics and stuff like that. But there certainly are. There was one the other day, but I just can't remember. I can't remember what it was now. When I realized, I think, God, I've been singing that completely wrong forever. But
It's mad,
I can't remember what it is.
How-
it happens quite a lot.
Yeah. But also tough question to ask randomly on the spot as well. I probably
With a bit of prep, I've probably could have. If I'd had a month, I'd have written these things as I went along. Yeah,
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. If you could ban any overplayed song from your life forever, what would it be?
What a ban. I don't know. There's not many things. There's lots of songs that I wouldn't want to ban something because there's songs that I've not liked at all, and artists that I've really not liked when I was younger, and have come to appreciate a lot more now. Like I'm going through a bit of a Simply Red phase, which if you asked me when I was 18,
I used to love
it. Had very strong words for you, sort of thing like that. So there are a lot of things that do you ever have it when you've got a band that you absolutely love, but there's one song that just doesn't do it for you for whatever reason? Yeah. So for example, for me, and this is the one I'll pick for this, and slightly tongue in cheek, and on the very off chance that Manny listens to it because I know him from Soccer AM. I love the Stone Roses. They're one of my favourite ever bands. I cannot handle hearing Fool's Gold ever again. I don't know what it is, right? It's like, and I love every other one of their songs. Like I think they're so good, and I don't know if it's just. I think it's the fact that XFM, when it started in London, would say, "Yeah, we play like the full versions of all these songs." They go, I want a 3-minute song. I don't want something that's for that long. So yeah, it's Fool's Gold. It's never really hit for me. So I'm going to ban that, but only playing the full length version of that on the radio. I'll ban.
That's fair enough. Have you got like so like just to give you probably don't know this band, Taking Back Sunday, an old kind of emo band.
I know the name, but I couldn't name us. What name a song? And I'll see if I can.
Cute Without the E is or
I know that. Yeah.
So they were my favorite band for a long time, but I think I'm very much in the headspace now where I've overplayed the whole band, and it's got to a point now where it's like, oh, do I even want to? Like, there's so much new music out there that I've kind of missed because I've spent so much time with them. I need to maybe steer clear of them a little bit. Is there any bands like that where you've kind of overplayed them? You still love them?
Loads. I remember when I was 16, I overplayed Trouble by Shampoo, but then I remember listening to that loads on a flight and thinking, but then I don't think that's a great example. There's quite a lot of bands I've listened. There's bands I love that I don't listen to that much because I've listened to them so much. Like Oasis, I very rarely put on Oasis, maybe a bit now because the gigs are coming up, and but I very rarely play Oasis because I sort of know it all by now, I guess. So yeah, maybe I don't know. Nothing I'm particularly sick of at the minute. Like I do go in quite hard. If I find something I love, like I listened to that to the Chapel Roan album. I was like, there were some of the songs I was in like the 0.01% on Spotify of them. That sort of thing, which was I was surprised by. I like it. I didn't realize I was listening to it that much. So, but no, nothing at the minute that I'm sickened by.
That's fair enough. Okay, well, let's play a game. This one's called Straight Out of Context.
Good.
So
I like the name.
I'm going to go first on this, just so you know that you're not getting scammed into doing something slightly horrendous.
Okay.
I'm going to heavily caveat this by letting you know that the idea is that we both get to pick two numbers between 1 and 3. And that will determine a song lyric.
Okay.
Which we will then WhatsApp, text, whatever you need to do to a random person who will be selected for the other. So that's like the first 1 to 3 is the song. The second 1 to 3 is the person.
Perfect.
So I need you to pick between 1 and 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that will determine the song, and I'll let you know what the lyric is, and then we're going to do it again, and I'll let you know who I'll be texting, and I'll do it in front of you on my iPad with my.
Okay, fine. So I will pick 3 for you.
3. It's a White Stripes song called Ball and Biscuit, and the lyric is "Baby, let me bang your box."
Great.
Okay, just to let you know, the people that are on offer to text is my co-host Josh.
Yep.
My partner, which,
yep,
or my mum. So, okay, yeah, give me a 1 to 3, and I'll let you know.
Well, let's hope you've done it in that order. I'll pick 3.
Okay, so you good. It's actually my co-host, so that works quite well. I am gonna very quickly send that. Yeah, I'll do it now quickly, and we'll.
Okay.
Baby, let me bang your box. Send. Right. Just so you can see, I have sent that. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Marvellous.
So that is brilliant. That's to my co-host.
So now we wait for a response. Is that the idea?
I mean, hopefully at some point during the podcast there'll be a response. But to be honest, just the knowledge that this has happened is enough for me.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna let you know the 3 people that I've chosen for you are the Happy Hour boys. So Alfie, Stevie, and Jack. So if I'm gonna let you pick the numbers because I've got the numbers in front of me. I'm gonna let you pick the numbers for both. So let's start with the lyrics 1 to 3. What number are you going for?
2.
2. Okay, so it's from Little Red Corvette by Prince.
Okay.
The line is, "Why don't you slide between my thighs?"
Okay. Absolutely fine.
Okay. And if you want to pick 1 to 3 again, I'll let you know who you're texting.
Okay, I will pick number 3. What I will say to you, though, is if it's Jack, he'll probably driving because they'll be recording Happy Hour today. So you'll get more joy if it's one of the other 2, that you're more likely to get a reply.
Okay.
But I don't mind. But I can still.
It is unfortunately Jack that you've picked. Do we just check for fun?
It's up to you. I'm just if you want a response, you're more likely to get one from Alfie or Stevie just because they won't be driving.
I'll tell you what, only because I can make a decent clip out of it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
okay.
Jack. You have picked Jack, so you'll be texting him, "Why don't you slide between my thighs?" and nothing else. And the deal is that you can't really tell him until I guess after once he's responded.
Okay.
If you do get a response, I'd love to hopefully know.
Okay. Why don't you slide between my thighs?
Why don't you slide between my thighs?
Question mark?
Question mark.
Okay, done. We'll wait until we get a response.
Thank you very much, Robbie. And
he's literally not. He's just not even bothered to read the message I sent him yesterday. So, oh, hang on. It's got blue ticks.
Oh,
Just put question mark.
He's responded with a question mark.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's good enough.
Okay.
Jack,
I'm just
I
going to say,
apologise.
hello, mate. Sorry, I'm just on a podcast, and they asked me to text you that, so I just did it. But also, why don't you? There we go. Anyway, yes. Sorry. Good. Okay. Done.
Lovely. That was straight.
You got a question mark, which could have been better.
I will. I'll let you know if. Let me just check actually if I've got a response. No response. Although to be fair, he's literally working at the moment, so I probably won't get a response until a little bit later too. But I will let you know how it goes, and I will be making a little clip out of this, so you guys will understand as well. Let's move on to your main support act. The second.
Oh, he's replied again. So he said, "Haha, right, okay, sexy." There you go.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate you. Main support act for the evening. Who is...
Okay, that's me. Right. So I'm going to go with one of my favourite bands, and it's Weezer, who I saw the other week in Dublin. I love them. I think they're brilliant. But I'm going to be making them play. I'm going to be choosing the set list.
Amazing.
Because the problem is, certainly when they come to this country, it's a problem. It's not a problem. They play the songs you'd want to hear.
Sure.
But they've played that. If you go every time they come over, like I do, you see a similar set a lot of the time. And if they've got a new album out, you might get some from those things. But then a lot of these new albums, they just go away. So I'm going to be making them do the set I choose, which would include songs that they've probably never played live that I like. Because the problem is, some of the albums I like are not well received by the rest of the fan base, and as a result, are never likely to. So for the encore song, I will get them to play from their album Pacific Daydream, La Mancha Screwjob,
Nice.
which is a song I really like. But I've never seen it live, and I imagine I never will. And I imagine no one will ever mention that song ever again in your life.
It's a shame, isn't it? Have you ever thought, are they still doing the Weezer cruise?
Oh no, no! If they do again, I'll definitely go. Yeah, they did two of them. There was rumours of a third, but it's never happened.
It's a shame because I feel like with the amount of gigs they play on board, you would hope that they would, I don't know, start doing each album individually at this point.
Yeah. That's the thing. Occasionally they'll do like one, but the problem is when they do an album in their entirety, it's the good ones. I want them to play the average ones in their entirety.
What if you had to pick a favourite out of the usual repertoire? What's your kind of go-to?
Song-wise?
Yeah.
Say It Ain't So is probably my favourite ever song, I think. It still feels so fresh now. It's got great lyrics. It's got a lovely melody. And the way I sort of describe it to people is I think when you listen to the Libertines and it feels like they've never played that song before. It feels like they're just making it up as they go along.
Yeah.
And then you'll listen to like Radiohead and it feels like they've sort of picked over every single note for hours and made it perfect. It seems to have both of those things for me, the sort of intricate perfection and also just this sort of loose feel to it. I love it.
It's one of their songs for me that actually got introduced to me by my uni. Like I went to music uni. And for me, like at first it was Buddy Holly that I loved, and
that's great.
My intro to them, which was great. But then we literally studied "Say It Ain't So," and
it's incredible.
It's such the opening kind of the little riff and everything. It's one of my favorite songs to play as a guitarist as well, because it's fun. It's literally a fun song to play. Okay, awesome. What a great shout. So Weezer second. Amazing. Let's press on because I've somehow got an endless list of questions to ask you. So
it's all right. It's fine.
If you could relive one concert in history, what would it be and why?
I think you see if I answer that, it's going to give away my headliner. I think.
Okay.
So I can either answer and do my headliner or.
I'll tell you what. I've got so many questions, Robbie. Let me ask another one.
Okay.
If you could do a YouTube video where you go for a walk, or you go to the pub, or even traveling with a musical artist that is no longer with us, who would you choose?
I find it hard to think who's dead. who's good and dead? I mean, David Bowie would be good, wouldn't he?
That'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting, but would it be a good night out?
If Ziggy Stardust comes out, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm picking a pub. I'm not going for a walk. I will go for a session with Coolio.
Oh, great shout.
I reckon it'd be a great night out with Coolio. I was sad when Coolio died.
Did you hear about
Coolio.
his appearance on Hot Ones?
No.
So Sean Evans was saying that after he did Hot Ones, he just went and lied on the sofa in the green room for like 2 hours and slept because he was so fucked from all the hot wings.
Oh wow! Yeah, no, I think it'd be great. I'm surprised he's struggling with hot wings because I've got his barbecue cookbook and there's some spicy stuff in that. Yeah, Cooking with Coolio, it's called.
Nice.
It actually might not be barbecue; it might just be general cooking. But yeah, so he lives on in my kitchen.
Nice. Okay, and what song do you associate with a defining moment of your career?
That's a good question. Again, it's hard to pick a specific moment. I mean, Soccer AM, there's the theme tune of Soccer AM is an instrument, or was at the time, an instrumental version of "You Don't See the Signs" by Mark B and Blade. It was a remix. It was an instrumental of the Grant Nicholas from Feeder's remix of Mark B and Blade's "You Don't See the Signs."
Nice.
So that's something that I've again, weirdly was just listening to that earlier today because I'm on a bit of a sort of like early 2000s British hip hop thing at the minute.
Nice.
So maybe that, but then there's so much music around at that time that I was involved with. Yeah, let's go with that. I'd say the Soccer AM theme tune because it was always that exciting bit that you'd hear it playing and you'd have the sort of countdown in your ear to air and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Nice. Bit of nostalgia for you. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, and what was your first ever gig?
Again, this is going to ruin my because it's my headliner.
Let's leave it for now then. We'll come back to that. I'll ask that question again when we get to the headliner. We're going to play a very quick game called Play, Repeat, Delete.
Okay.
So, Play, Repeat, Delete is Shag, Marry, Kill, but with bands.
Right.
Easy enough to understand. So one that you play once or twice, one that you repeat forever, and one that you delete from existence, never to be heard again.
So do you give me 3 bands? Yeah, okay, good.
I'm going to give you the bands. I don't know if you're going to like my choices.
Okay.
I have picked them based on you. So Oasis.
Yeah.
Weezer.
Yeah.
Kasabian.
Okay. So what are they? So it's play means just
once or twice. Leave it at that.
Repeat here all the time.
Yep. Delete forever.
Okay. Well, we'll delete Kasabian. I love Kasabian. I got really well with them. It's a slightly different band now. Tom's left. I understand why Tom left.
Yep.
But they're not as big a part of my life as the other 2 bands. So yeah, Kasabian, respectfully, will be deleted from existence. Hard to say that. I listen to Weezer more now than I do Oasis. I don't know if it's because I've listened to so much Oasis so early in my life, or not. So I probably will play Oasis and I'll repeat Weezer because that's sort of what I do. And also that they've been active consistently, and there's just more music to work my way through.
Nice. I fully agree with that whole the whole statement there. I think the play, repeat, delete of all of those is perfect.
Yeah, excellent.
We are finally moving on to your headline act for your dream concert.
Okay.
So who is headlining the London Astoria rebuilt just for this?
Okay, I am going to have the band I saw at my first ever gig that still remains one of the best gigs I've ever been to. I went to a tiny little venue you might know called London Wembley Stadium to see some Irish upstarts called U2 on their Zoo TV tour. And it still is it's the best stadium show I've ever seen. I've seen some great ones, but there's just the whole theatrics of it, the way the visuals worked, like Bono playing characters, there's the staging and having the bit down the middle. Everything about it was so good. It's such a great first gig to go to, and I've saw them a couple of times around that sort of era, but I've not seen them since. But I'd really love to, and I think they're a great band. I think they get unfairly hammered, and I think Bono in particular gets really hammered by people. There was everyone hates Bono, but Bono's done everything you're supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? Like he's in this band. There's no arguments. They're never breaking up. It's the same four people all the way through. He's married to his childhood sweetheart. He spends most of his time trying to cure AIDS. I mean, he's always doing charity stuff. And then someone will go, "Oh, he once flew his hat on a plane or something." I don't care, mate. He's trying to cure AIDS. You cure AIDS, and then we'll talk. But I feel he gets absolutely hammered. I don't really know. I think people just get wound up by it. They go, "Oh, it gave us that." They put their album on my iPhone. That's nice. That's a nice thing to do. He's doing all the things. Yeah, it's nice. Oh, I don't want the album on my iPhone. Look at you. Look how lucky you are. If people from the olden days can hear you moaning because your magical phone that plays music got given an U2 album for free. So U2.
I totally agree. Yeah. U2's a good shout as well. Beautiful Day is just, I think, one of the best songs ever.
Yeah, I think they've got so many good songs. I think Acton Baby's from my favourite album. Joshua Tree's great as well. I really like Zeropa, even though I accept it's not the best. But around that sort of time, I think people sort of forget now they were just the biggest band in the world. Like at that sort of era, they were so massive.
Yeah,
and so good. So yeah, I will pick U2.
Perfect. What a perfect choice to round this off. And so I guess the final question for your dream gig is, what is the encore song?
Well, I was going to say The Fly, because I think it's one of my favourite ones. But I think what I'll do is I'll pick something that they used to do on that Zoo TV tour, and Bono used to do a cover, and it's available on Spotify, the cover version of it, of Lou Reed's Satellite of Love. Just a lovely, sort of really sort of simple, stripped back version of it. So I'll go Lou Reed's Satellite of Love, played by U2. And if anyone wants to know what that tour is like, I think you can find online Zoo TV live at Sydney. I think it's on YouTube now. You can just go and watch what the show was like on that tour.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Robbie. You are now officially inducted as an honorary member of the Encore Club. Thank you.
I am honoured. Thank you very much. Do I get a certificate?
I will. I'll tell you what. I'll send you something in the post. Before I let you go, I am just a very few kind of quick fire would you rather's. Some relatively just outrageous, and some that aren't as bad. Let's go through these. Would you rather go to a gig with no drinks or no toilets?
At 48 years old, no drinks.
Good shout. Yep. Okay. Would you rather be stuck in a lift with Jack or Stevie?
Stevie, because Jack gets claustrophobic and he'd freak out. He doesn't go in lifts when he can avoid it.
Fair enough.
It would go very badly.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair answer. Would you rather be late and miss the first 3 songs of a gig, or leave early and miss the encore?
Again, like I would have said, I'd rather be there for the end. But I mean, depending on where the gig is, if there's a lot of people at the gig, the thought of getting away early and getting on the tube or the train or getting to my car is class. So,
It's got to that point, hasn't it?
it really has, yeah.
I didn't think I was the same, and I've actually had an argument with my co-host about this in a different episode because he's very much in the same headspace as you in that. But I've started to be like, okay, well, especially if I've seen the band multiple times, like we're all
Like I don't generally leave early in these things. I will unless there's a genuine risk of me not getting home. I will generally wait to the end. But if they're playing what is very obviously the last song of their encore and they're doing a 20-minute guitar bit at the end, I might just sort of make my way towards the door.
That's fair.
And sort of head out.
That's fair. This one is wild. I don't know how this one slipped in, but would you rather fart loudly every time you laugh or be pelted with glitter and confetti by Robert Smith from The Cure every time you're sad?
Oh, the Robert Smith and The Cure.
I
definitely
fully agree.
He seems a nice guy. And yeah, I'll go with that one.
Bit of glitter and confetti from Robert Smith. Okay, would you rather be stuck in a mosh pit of toddlers or with your old school teachers?
Old school teachers, I think, because some of them I think would have been good on a night out.
Nice.
And the toddlers, you'd bang into them or something like that. I'd be too paranoid about hurting them, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
And finally, let's say you're in a famous band.
Okay.
Would you rather be in a supergroup with your exes or only be allowed to play gigs in garden centres?
I think I'd get on with any exes, but I think my wife would probably get a bit annoyed. So, just for domestic bliss, I'll probably have to just go to garden centres. I tend to go to garden centres a lot anyway, so nice. It makes it convenient if there's gigs there.
Happy wife, happy life. That's the way forward. Robbie, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. I love talking about music, and I've had a really nice time. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Just before you go, please tell the people anything that you've got going on, anything you want to share. Please just let them know.
I don't know. I mean, if they really, I'm on the internet. Do YouTube if you want to look. You have a look at that. Don't worry about it if not. Just get on with your day. You got more important things to do.
Go and find Robbie, guys. Go and find
me.
If you don't find him on YouTube, find him on Instagram. Follow him. Go and run up his numbers on YouTube and stuff. He does some amazing videos. Robbie, don't do yourself a disservice. Your content is awesome.
Bless you.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an honour.